Kenny Omega took on Rich Swann in a title-for-title match to take both titles home, and he won. Let's go over the match because this was amazing. 22 minutes of just amazing wrestling. Before the match, Don Callis cuts an outstanding promo for his in-ring introduction for Kenny Omega, name-dropping Simon Gotch, Gene Hackenschmidt, Vern Gagne, Lou Thez, and the greatest pro wrestler of the past 10,000 years, Kenny, by God, Omega. And Kenny Omega ended up, walking away with the Impact World Championship and the TNA World Championship, apparently, because they had two belts. So Kenny Omega just raking in the gold. This match had a big fight feel. Mauro Ranallo was on the call as well. That made it even bigger. We loved Mauro on the call. It made it even bigger. And the match was a big fight feel. Omega and Swann gave it their all. It seemed that Swann, at about 15 minutes in, maybe had gassed out at a certain point, but Omega, God bless him, he could wrestle a broom and make it entertaining. He carried him through the last 7 minutes. He hit the one-winged angel for the 1-2-3. And Kenny Omega, the greatest pro wrestler of the past 10,000 years, became the Impact World Champion on Impact Rebellion this past Sunday. Trevor, what did you think of this match? What does this mean? Not just for Kenny Omega, but for pro wrestling.
Like we say every week, what's good for pro wrestling is good for me. It was great. It was so great. Like you said before, Don Callis cut one of the best promos, introductions I've seen in probably the past 10,000 years to hop on his own promo. It was amazing. The name dropping, the wordplay. Kenny by God Omega. I don't think I'll ever call him anything else but that for the rest of my days. It was just such a great match. Like, even Ronaldo being a commentator, which thank God he was there, but we'll talk about that later.
Thank God, Ronaldo.
Thank God. Oh my! Because if I had to watch that match with D'Lo and Stryker, I might have not watched it. I might have just forgot commentators even existed. But it was such a good match. Like you said, it had a great big fight feel. And hands off to Rich Swann. He did a great job. I don't know if his conditioning was slightly off or what it was, or he just couldn't keep up with Kenny. I'm not sure exactly what it was. But he did gas out about 15 minutes in. And of course, the cleaner came in and cleaned it up. It was an amazing match. This means so much for Impact, for pro wrestling in general. And it also makes you wonder what's the next step. Is the NWA title up for grabs? Is the New Japan title up for grabs? Like, it just makes you wonder where this is going to go.
I think this is going to go to some amazing places. So first of all, I just want to say, man, Kenny Omega literally, I said it before we started, I think. Kenny Omega could wrestle a broom and make it entertaining. But Rich Swann, he gave it his all for as long as he could, and he had a great match. And this honestly made Rich Swann, this made Impact relevant again. I think that's the big thing. Like the biggest impact, pardon the pun here, that happened here. It wasn't just Kenny Omega winning another belt. It was Impact becoming relevant again, because you saw a lot of eyeballs on this Rebellion pay-per-view. You saw a lot of people kind of gravitate towards Impact that wouldn't have gravitated towards the product otherwise. So I think this was great for Impact. It was great for Rich Swann. And of course, it was great for Kenny Omega. He's doing this belt collector gimmick where he's just going to collect all the belts from everywhere he can, aside from WWE probably. But, as far as what's next, look, he has the AEW title. He has the Impact/TNA World titles. He has the AAA title. What's next for him? I could see the NWA Championship being the next thing, the next domino to fall, so to speak, because not only because, the NWA and AEW have recently rekindled a relationship. They have a new relationship, whether it was Thunder Rosa coming over and doing some spots with them or other superstars as well. I think that there's, room there. Nick Aldis versus Kenny Omega is a money match, and we're likely going to see it down the line. And, after that, I think obviously the big thing everyone's going to be looking for is Kenny Omega going to wrestle for the New Japan World title. I know we're not going to be covering a lot of New Japan, but I do think that Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the New Japan
Okada.
title,
Could be
or
Okada.
Okada, either of those two, Kenny Omega and Okada, like in a title for title match, and Omega going over. Look, that would be big news. And here's the reason why. We kind of talk about it a lot here, right? I talk about the fact that Kenny Omega, he's not just defeating these guys, right? He's not just like oh, they're jobbing out to Kenny Omega. No, that's not what this is. They are making irrelevant products more relevant in the mainstream, more relevant to the casual wrestling fan, because over 1 million people a week watch AEW. It's 1 million eyeballs a week that are glued to that product. And what Omega has been able to do is shift eyes over to Impact now. He's going to be able to shift eyes maybe over to NWA Power on the Fight TV app. He's going to be able to shift eyes over to New Japan, who, their stock is they're trying to grow their stock in American wrestling. So I think that Kenny Omega is the perfect person to do that, because not only is he the greatest pro wrestler of the past 10,000 years, but he also has credibility because he's wrestled a lot of these guys before, whether it's Okada in New Japan, whether it's Nick Aldis. He has this history. He's a mainstream draw now in wrestling. And I'm telling you, this belt collector gimmick, it's not only good for Omega, it's not only good for AEW, it's amazing for pro wrestling, because remember, Trevor, at some point, someone has to beat him for all those titles. He has to lose. He's gonna lose all those titles, and when that happens, everyone who defeats him are gonna be bigger stars for it, and that's what this is about. Because Omega isn't someone. He's not like a Hulk Hogan. He's not just gonna be oh brother. I'm gonna drop the belt to Yoko, brother, not Bret Hart. No, I think Omega he knows when the time comes, he's gonna drop the belt to whoever is gonna be that next big star for that individual brand. That's kind of the agreement that exactly. We've seen laid out here. And I think this is amazing, not just for pro wrestling, not just for being a fan, not just for Kenny Omega, but for literally all parties involved. No one loses by this. Nobody loses. Professional wrestling wins.
This is a win-win situation completely. It also begs the question, like, once the gimmick is all said and done, who's going to knock him off for that title? And I think that's interesting within itself. Like you said, a battle between a match between him and Aldis and will be amazing. I can't wait to see that. They've met before, both amazing wrestlers. But I think the big draw would be either Okada or Will Ospreay. As I've said plenty of times before, I love Will Ospreay. So I honestly, and I know thousands of other people love him as well, if not millions, love him as well. Then I honestly believe that would be a great match.
Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.